Hey guys, what's going on? Jenko Sports here, bringing you a new series here on the Jenko Sports YouTube channel. Now, you may be wondering, Liam, why are you at the untitled game screen? Why are you choosing a club in the Superliga? Have you been fired? Well, the answer is no. If you've been attending the live streams, you'll know there have been a few suggestions to start a secondary series. So the Charlton save will still carry on, and we're also going to start a new one. So we'll have one day of Charlton, one day of Brondby. That's right, because Brondby, as you can see in their history, they won 3 consecutive titles in a row. Bit of a couple off seasons, one again. It's been a bit spiky, but recently, graph resembles a man's penis who has erectile dysfunction. It's just not going up. He just can't keep it at the top of the league. So in comes Liam, takes over charge with the mighty Daniel Agger at helm to try and take Brondby back to where they belong in a Champions League spot and at the top of the Danish league. So we'll see what we can do here with Brondby. I haven't actually managed in this nation before, so should be a bit of banter, should be quite fun. I know nothing about the club other than they've got the almighty Daniel Agger and Elmander the Salamander, who I'm sure is going to be banging them in left, right and centre this season. But I took a look at the squad depth. We make a couple of signings. We let a few players go, unfortunately, but you'll be able to see exactly who we bring in and why. So the idea of this first episode, we're going to get straight through pre-season. We've put all the pre-season games on sim because I just don't like playing them. I'd rather see the AI manage them. They still get the experience and stuff. I just don't have to watch 10 minutes of me playing a 4th division down Danish side, which their leading centre-back in his spare time actually runs a cost cutter. I'd much rather just focus on the league, set my scouts off to do what they want to do, bring the players in, do the tactics, the training, blah blah blah, show you guys the interesting stuff instead of boring you with a pre-season friendly against a team with as much credibility as I do as a real-life football manager. In case you're wondering, that's not a lot of credibility. So straight into sending a scout off on a random world trip. We've paid for his flights. He's got his VIP pass for EasyJet, which is basically middle class on any other airline ever. And he probably will crash in the Atlantic Ocean and look a little bit suspicious because we don't like the scout that much. But he's off. He's going to look for us for a new striker to partner Elmander up front because there's not a lot of depth when it comes to strikers with Brondby. They've got 2 really good ones, and if they both go like my luck seems to, then it's not going to bode so well. We've got to do a team meeting, as you can see, so we're going to go in here and establish our authority. My name's Liam. We're going to win the league this year. They are fired right up. They are not fired right up. They don't want to win the league. They're like, hey, you know, we're going to overachieve a bit here. And I think the problem with that is that they don't like kebabs. I haven't actually told them about kebabs. We're in Denmark. That's not their national food. Their national food is probably prawn cocktail skips. For all I'm aware, they don't eat kebabs. I can't bribe them with skips, but if you look at the squad depth screen there, it does look a bit dire. The further you go down the list, the better it is. Obviously, Agger is the centrepiece at the back. You can see Elmander's looking good up front. We've got a couple of good attacking centre mids as well, which is going to bode well if we do want to play some Trequartistas. We've also got just some good attacking right and left mids, but the main place we really need to improve is our left back and our right back, because quite frankly, Stephen Henderson would do a better job. And if you actually haven't watched my Charlton save, that's saying something, because he's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. And he's a goalie, which doesn't help. You can see there's a lot of talent in terms of the attacking centre mid, but this man's 31 and sucking up the wage budget. And I know he's a key player for the squad, but I decided to take a bit of a bold statement. Now, the reason for that is, 1, he's 31, so he's not exactly going to be improving. He's going to be in decline. 2, he's one of the most highly paid players in this team. If I can flog him for maybe 800k to $1 million, I can bring in maybe a 21, 22-year-old with a lot more potential. He may be just under his current ability, but will be a lot cheaper. And with my current history of Football Manager, wages and expenditure is a big issue. I normally end up in debt within the first few weeks of the season. It's not good. If there's people eating at the wage budget that are good but could be improving, then get them out. I can easily get a 22, 23-year-old with exactly the same stats for a bit less. We're going to loan out our keeper as well, Volksgaard there. He's going to piss off to Patrick Thistle, which will be fun. So he gets a nice holiday in Scotland, going from Denmark. I'm sure he's going to love that. But as you can see, a few contracts looking to expire, so we're just going to renew them before they do, because we don't want to be losing players midway through the season. That's a bit lame, that is. I've had that with Basingstoke, because they won't sign new contracts because they think you're terrible, you don't have the finances, so they just go, no, I'm not going to sign. And then they end up being snapped up by some non-league side on a free, who then pay them significantly less. Just use your noggin, sign early on. It's alright, you don't have to go through that embarrassment then, do you? You wet wipes. Whilst we're on the topic of budgets as well, we don't actually have that much at Brondby. We've got a few 100k to play with, and then a little bit of wages. I mean, the wages are actually quite helpful. We can get a few players on free, but I want to get some youth in and some nice young players to bring in the squad. We've got the experience of Daniel Agger. We've got Elmander up front. That's the man we want, Victor Alvarez, but we just don't have the money at the moment. But we've just flogged the guy for $1 million, which means we're bringing in a whopping big offer. He's worth about 600k, but we said he can get him between about 800k and 2.5 mil. Where luckily we do sign him a bit later on, you will see that. So he does become our new left back. And if you look at the squad depth, it doesn't look too good in terms of wing backs. I'd much rather get a solid defence and an average midfield and attack than an awful defence. Because if you look at what's happened in my previous saves, especially with Langero, for those of you that come into the live streams every day, it just doesn't end well. We just concede 4 goals every game. We went on like a 5-game unbeaten streak. Next thing you know, we conceded 11 goals in 2 matches. I want to avoid that. Get a solid back 4, one with potential, the equivalent of Chris Solly but on the left, then build up from there because we've got a good striker. All we've got to do is feed the ball through to him. We've got some good centre mids as well. Get the solid back 4. Daniel Agger's going to be leading from behind in a non-gay way, of course. Actually, he might be gay. I haven't asked him. Someone ping him an email and ask him on his sexuality. If he is leading from behind, I do feel a bit sorry for Victor Alvarez because as a 21-year-old, he might be a bit vulnerable in the changing rooms if he doesn't speak Danish. So we'll see if that becomes a bit of an issue. I'm sure we'll have a team meeting as Daniel's saying he feels a bit powerful. And Alvarez come complaining saying he feels a little bit scared to have a shower with the lads. But we have a big day, as you can see, from Cruz Azul for Kallenberg. And it's a good offer, I'm not going to lie, but I think we can do better. So he suggests some more acceptable terms. They go, fucking cheers, boys. Kallenberg's on his way, so another player who's on his way out gives us again a little bit more transfer budget to play with to just build the squad a bit. This squad's predicted 3rd in the league. I'm not going to finish 3rd in the league. We all know I'm going to get fired by January or finish 9th. It's just like having chlamydia. You know you're not going to get laid much, but if you tell people you've got it, they might feel sorry for you and give you a blowjob. So that's my method there as we move in towards the end of pre-season. Looking at a couple of other right backs and left backs as well, but pretty sure Alvarez is going to have it covered. That's the other formation we're probably going to be toying with, a 4-2-3-1, purely because we've got a lot of attacking mids, no real defensive ones. So we need to, again, strengthen up the core and we should be alright. But it's a good solid base to start actually, Brondby. But look at that young man. Alvarez is going to explode. He is the raw man of the Brondby save to bring Brondby into glory. And don't forget this episode as well, you will get to see the European draw, which is what I like to see. So we should get, hopefully, a good team in the Europa League. The last thing we want to do, really, is start the season with a match against a world-eater team and get our asses spanked 7-2, like I do in most saves. I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping this save is a little bit different, but then every time we start well, it goes tits up. Look at Charlton. We started off brilliantly in the Charlton save. Everything went perfectly, and by January, I'm now 17th. But SV Reed, Big Dave's main rivals, they want Alma back on loan, so we decide, should we let him go, or do we need centre-backs? And whilst Daniel Agger's going to command, he can't be the only centre-back there, so we decide to neglect that offer and go, no, he's staying here with the base. You want to fight? Go get your baseball bats, fam. That's right, Brondby are now actually from the ghetto. The ghetto of Denmark is actually run by Brondby. Straight out of Brondby. That's right. But that's right, you can see Alvarez on his way to the club. For 7k a week, that's what I mean, it's not that bad wage-wise. We've got him for a few seasons, and hopefully by then, he'll want to renew his contract because of that magical phrase of 2 words, wait, 3 words, Champions League football. That's right, that's where we're aiming for. We want Champions League, but to do that, we've got to do very well in Europa League, and we've got to do even better in the actual Danish League. So fingers crossed we can achieve what we set out to do. Although, to be fair, that never normally happens, does it? Because this is me, and when I play Football Manager, nothing ever goes right. Holby City kicks in about midway through the series, and then I'm stuck with no one else but Daniel Agger. Hopefully, though, that won't happen with Brondby because the youth structure is much better. They've got a strong B team, a strong under-19s team as well. So fingers crossed it won't be too much of an issue. Now, back to the live stream. I think it was Danny that recommended this. So thanks to Danny. I'm sure he'll comment on this video. So be sure to give his channel a check out. Maybe subscribe to it as well if you like his content and just want to be friendly. Show him some Kebab Nation love. Although I'm pretty sure the Kebab Nation's now going to convert into the Prawn Skips Nation because I'm pretty sure that's what Brondby live off. But yeah, if you haven't tuned into the live streams every day 9 PM on Twitch for Football Manager, there might be a bit before and a bit after for some Daisy as well. But I know there's 5 or 6 of you that regularly tune in, so you would have known this series is coming. It's a good place to just chill out, say hello, and watch me fail at a 3rd League Spanish team. So now we've got the Twitch plug out of the way, 9 minutes into the video, we can focus back on the end of this then. So Bromley coming towards the end of their pre-season friendly, still looking to strengthen the squad a little bit, and this guy is a bit annoyed because he wants Champions League football. FC Basel made him an offer, and I was like, no, he's too important, you can't just pluck him, he can stay in the Europa League. And he got a bit annoyed. He was like, I want Champions League. And I'm like, you also want to sit on a bench in the freezing cold, don't you? And he was like, no, boss. And I was like, you want to play first team, don't you? He was like, yes, boss. So I was like, right, stay here then. But it's not going to work. He still wants Champions League football. So I've just said to him that I'll accept the next offer should it come in. Question is, do we accept it though? All will be revealed later as we look to try and strengthen our attacking mid structure. Nathan Redmond's there for a bit of depth, but a bit out of our wage budget and transfer budget and overall budget. And out of the country, for that matter. I don't think he'd want to move to Denmark from Norwich. But this guy's looking a little bit too good. As in, he's already given me a semi just looking at his stats. So I'm trying to try and sign him from the Dortmund #2 side, of course, playing in the Bundesliga B. We let Fury go out, bless him, because he wants to go to the Premier League. Holst wants to go as well. So he's a backup centre-back. He's complaining. I think it's because he hasn't shaved his moustache. He's appeared on Crime Watch. All these bids have come in. He's like a little independent rap artist with all these little record labels trying to sign him. Stoke want him. Stoke play defensive football. It only makes sense. Get him off to Stoke. I try and suggest a little bit more for him there. Accept it. Fucking cheers, boys. Holst is gone. But with that moustache, he's going to be appearing on Crime Watch. We're not Scottish now. Going to be appearing in Crime Watch very soon for being a convicted rapist. And if he had this voice, I think he might be arrested. If someone could remind me to never to go to Scotland, that would be good, just in case I get stabbed for such a bad impression. But Villa want Holst as well, so he's obviously got some potential, and we're going to let him go for quite a lot. Just because we can get $1 million out of him again, we can get a replacement in. Everyone gets a bit annoyed, they're like, why are you letting him go? He's one of our good players. I'm like, have you seen his moustache? He's got to scare the fans. I went to sell out a stadium if the parents are scared their kids are going to get kidnapped in a fake ice cream van saying, Das Schulen on the back of it. You can't do it. He just can't do it. But anyway, we're getting towards the first game of the season, and that's all we've got time for. We're not going to play it. That's next episode. First game of the season, Brondby. The title charge starts now. Champions League football's on the horizon, or is it? Hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Please leave a like if you have, because it's going to be alternating. It's not the end of Charlton. Charlton video tomorrow. Brondby the day after. Live stream every day at 9 PM. There's a Facebook page in the description for you to keep up with all the banter. There may even be 2 videos tomorrow if you're lucky. Who knows? But from myself, Jenko Sports, I will see you tonight at 9 PM on Twitch. Take it easy.